Hello and welcome to a new video. Today I am in London in the West End, just outside the Prince Edward Theatre, and I'm going to be going to watch Mary Poppins the musical, so come along! This production of Mary Poppins returned back to the Prince Edward Theatre, I want to say around autumn of 2019, and obviously then in 2020, as we all know, theatres had to close, so it was only open for a few months, and in those few months unfortunately I didn't get a chance to see it. I have seen Mary Poppins before, but on tour, so I've never seen it in the West End, and I'm really looking forward to seeing it. But before we go into the theatre to watch the show, it's currently about 5:30 p.m. I'm off to meet my friend Sharika. We're going to go for dinner, and then she's actually coming along the journey with me, so yeah, we're going to have a great time. Before I go meet my friend though, because I'm a little bit early, I thought I'd show you the outside of the theatre. The Prince Edward Theatre is actually quite special for me because I used to work in this theatre years and years ago. It must have been about 2014, so it's been a while. But yeah, this theatre used to be my home, away from home for a long time. So yeah, this is the outside of the theatre. Before Mary Poppins, this theatre hosted Aladdin, and then before that it was home to Miss Saigon, which is when I was working here. But yeah, we've got ZIZI STRALLEN in the main role as Mary Poppins. And I'm really looking forward to seeing her actually. I think I did see her on tour a few years ago, but to be seeing her in this iconic theatre is going to be amazing. How cool is this big sign, the Mary Poppins sign on the side of the theatre? I love it. Anyway, the weather's really beautiful today as well. We're on the second day of September, so autumn is slowly but surely approaching. The weather's lovely, and I'm enjoying it. This is like my perfect weather. It's not too hot, but it's not too cold either. I'm wearing a t-shirt. I do have a jacket as well in case it gets cooler later on. But yeah, we are actually off to a place called Enquiries for food, which Sharika was the one I think who introduced it to me, or maybe it might have been my friend Marie, one of those two. But it's a Japanese chain. They do curries, and I've been there a few times and I love it every single time. So I'll show you some of the food there as well. That is the curry house, by the way. Curry House Coco Ichibanya. And it's on Great Newport Street, if you're wondering, so basically in Leicester Square, kind of in between Leicester Square and Covent Garden, which will be on the other side. Welcome to Sharika! Oh, I'm glad. So our food has arrived at Coco Curry's. We've got some starters, bread, and some, I don't know, wedges, chicken, gyozas.
Dumplings, yeah.
Dumplings, yeah, it looks very good. So yeah, it's also quite quiet at this moment of time, which is good. Normally you'd see long queues here, wouldn't you?
Yeah. I think we waited for like half an hour before.
Yeah.
We walked right in.
But yeah, we're gonna eat it now. The main courses have arrived too now. I went for the chicken katsu curry with cheese, which is a speciality that they do here. It's phenomenal, and Sharika went for amazing. Bon appetit. So food was lovely, really nice. We are now on our way back to the theatre, the Mary Poppins show, Prince Edward Theatre. It's about 10 minutes to 7, so we've got plenty of time, and we're excited to watch it, both of us. It's so interesting how the street has changed ever since COVID became a thing. Like, there's so many outdoor seating areas everywhere that makes it quite difficult actually to navigate, because it's just very busy. I mean, this street would always be busy. It's like in Soho, but because of the restaurants everywhere, I mean, it's a nice thing. I understand why they're doing it, but it's just very busy. So let's go in. So we've just collected our tickets. We're in a lodge, which is exciting. I thought I'd show you the cast list over here as well, if it decides to move. There you go. So, oh, that's a stage. That's really fun. They give credit to everyone, not just the cast, but like stage management, assistant stage manager. Alright, so this is the principal cast. We've got ZIZI STRALLEN as Mary Poppins, Stemp, who I'm very excited to see as Bert, and then this is the rest of the cast here. This is Sharika. There's some hand gel here, which is good. This is the theatre. I was about to say I've missed this, but I don't know if I have. I don't know if I loved working here, but it was fun. We had some fun. I didn't work here with Sharika, by the way, just in case. This was pre-meeting Sharika. This was 2014. I met Sharika in 2015. It was a good year. Meeting Sharika changed my life. So we're about to go into our seats, which is in the dress circle. That's where the lodges are. Sharika's excited about going into a lodge.
Oh, it's like our ski lodge.
Yeah.
So exciting.
So exciting.
It's going to be the second one from the front.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
You enjoyed the show, guys.
Thank you so much. So very excited to be here. Very excited to be in a lodge. I keep mentioning the word lodge, but it's because this theatre is unique in having the lodges. So there's 5 on this side and 5 on the other side. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think it's the, keep going down, Sharika. It's the second to the bottom one, so the next one I would say. Yeah. So it's pretty fun. We're actually very close to the stage as well, considering we're so... Sharika, this is a lot. It's pretty cool, isn't it?
Wow. Do you want it to be on this?
No, you're fine. Enjoy it. Yeah, absolutely. And this is, of course, the stage. We're in our seats, as you can probably tell. It's a very red theatre.
Yeah.
Even though the seats are purple. And actually the seats were renovated around 2014 time. Before that, apparently there was something else. They're quite nice. They're quite nice. Sharika is so... It's so great, isn't it, coming to a show with a friend. This is my first time seeing a musical in 2021 with a friend.
Oh, were you...
Oh, well, Kaya and I were at Frozen together at the same time, but we weren't together, if that makes sense. This is pretty exciting. But yeah, you like Mary Poppins, the film?
Of course I do.
Yeah, it's a classic.
Magical. Julie Andrews is the Queen of England.
Fun fact as well, there's a Julie Andrews room here for hospitality reasons. I mean, there's nothing special about the room, it's just for the Julie Andrews.
Oh, okay.
You're not going to go in there and see
find her waiting. Oh.
But yeah, I'll show you the theatre very quickly as well so you can see a quick, like a nice shot of everything. So yeah, this is Mary Poppins, the stage. The orchestra's just down there getting ready. The stalls area. A bit of Sharika. And this is the dress circle where we're at. That's the main area of the dress circle and the lodges. On the side you've got some boxes as well, and then of course the top bit is the grand circle, which at the moment looks empty, so I'm not sure if they're selling tickets up there at the moment. It might be that because, you know, in 2021 and things have just reopened, it might not be as busy, but hopefully they'll start selling them there as well. But yeah, I'm excited. And the current time is about 7:15. The show is starting in about 20 minutes or so I'll speak to you later. It is the interval. How are you finding your show so far, Sharika?
So cute.
It's really cute. I've been smiling a lot. Like, there is a little bit towards the end of Act 1. That's just terrifying.
I'm never going to sleep again.
I don't think I'm going to sleep tonight for sure, that's for sure. Very unexpected, something I'd never seen in any version of Mary Poppins ever. I've only watched Mary Poppins on stage one more time and it was a touring production. And it's definitely not in the film. Yeah, the toys grow. Michael and James toys. Yeah, you see some big dolls on stage. It was genuinely quite scary.
I feel like I didn't deserve to watch that, to be honest.
Yeah, creepy hands. It was an odd choice. I really just didn't get that bit. But apart from that, it was really good. ZIZI Strallen's very, very good as Mary Poppins. I like Charlie Kemp as well as Bert.
Yeah.
I mean, the songs are so great as well. Like one part called the songs. Although one song that isn't in the show, which I like, I think most people probably aren't the biggest fan of it, Sharika isn't. It's the one that Sharika knows where this is going. It's the one that goes, I like to laugh, ha 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 ha. Sharika's not a fan. It's not in the show, don't worry. But yeah, really enjoying it. I'm gonna go and show you some of the merch now. So because it's a Disney show, of course, they sell quite a lot of merch. They've got this lovely tote bag with supercalifragilisticexpialidocious on it. They're selling these cute keychains as well. I've got an umbrella here, a supercalifragilistic one. I do love the supercalifragilistic scene, actually. It's really fun in the show. This is half price with any purchase. That's a good offer. And then what else have they got? Oh, I've just spotted that little teddy bear that's dressed, I think, as a policeman or something. I'll see if I can get a better look of it. So it's just over there. He looks adorable. They also sell a hoodie, a t-shirt, this random Practically Perfect apron, which is fun. Some like cups and stuff over there. Of course, they have a program and a brochure. I'm probably just going to get the program, I think. I don't know, I might get a brochure as well. We'll see. The famous umbrella, and they actually sell the umbrellas here as well. So that's really, really fun. So there's a cute journal over there as well that I just spotted. It looks beautiful. Really, really nice. That's £15. And then we've got a lovely little handbag as well with the Mary Poppins logo. So yeah, a quick selection of things. Also, a throw? Is that a throw? That's it, that's what it is. So yeah, I'm going to come back and get my program after the show. Thank you. One problem at the Princess Theatre is the queue for toilets. I remember when I worked here as well, we'd always get insane queues for the ladies' toilets. But yeah, I'm off back to my seat now. Going back into my seat. Look at this beautiful... I kind of came close. But yeah, the view has actually been really good as well. It's kind of a little bit of a side view, but it's really not obstructed whatsoever, is it? But yeah, Act 2 is going to start, I'm guessing, in the next 5 or 10 minutes, so this is it again. The orchestra, by the way, sounds incredible, so a big shout out to the orchestra as well. So yeah, I'll speak to you at the end of the show. so good. So we've just left the theatre. Really enjoyed the show, both of us, right?
Magical.
It is literally magical. Really magical. Act 2, a lot of magic happened. Act 1 had magic as well.
Would you say it was practically perfect in every way?
Not as practically perfect as you, darling. No, but it was it was genuinely very good. I really did enjoy it. We've got the lovely umbrella here next to us as well. But yeah, it's goodbye to Sharika for now. I'll speak to you a bit more later on, but thank you, Shazza.
Thank you, Shazza.
And I will speak to you when I get home. So, it is actually a few days later, and I thought I would wrap up the video for Mary Poppins and show you the program and everything and just talk a little bit more about the actual show. Before I do that though, I just want to give a couple of shout outs to 2 of my viewers that I met that evening. So one of them is Darren, who was actually sat more or less behind us in one of the lodges at the show. He was also watching Mary Poppins, and he said that he'd been at Cinderella a few nights before as well, from Newcastle. So Darren, thank you for saying hi. We had a few conversations and it was lovely to meet you. And then after the show, as I was walking to the station with my friend Sharika, we bumped into one of my other viewers, Janine. She said that she's German and Swedish, so half German, half Swedish, I think. And she wasn't even watching the show. She was just in central London walking the opposite direction as we were, and she stopped me and we had a little chat as well. So yeah, very lovely to meet both of you. Anyway, let's move on to the actual show now. I did buy both the program and the brochure, and I'm really glad I bought the brochure as well, actually, because I've had a quick look through it and it has some great photos. But before we even get to the program, let's just quickly talk about the show itself. I loved it. I really enjoyed watching the show on stage at the Prince Edward Theatre. I definitely preferred it to the touring production that I saw a few years ago. I'm not sure if it was very different from the touring production or not. I don't really remember the touring production that much. I just know that when I saw the tour, I didn't love it as much as I loved it recently when I saw it here in the West End. So maybe it's the cast, maybe it's the production that has improved a bit, who knows. But we all know the story of Mary Poppins, so I'm not going to talk about the story itself. It's a classic story written by P.R. Travers, of course. It's based on books. I really want to read the books, actually, that Mary Poppins is based on, the Disney film. But yeah, so the story is still there in this West End production, basically the same as you would know it, the kind of film and story that we've all grown up with. So yeah, I'm going to move on to the cast now, because the cast, I think, is really what makes the show, because especially with well-known Disney musicals like Mary Poppins or Aladdin or Frozen, etc., if you don't get the casting right, it can definitely affect the enjoyment of the show. And I thought they did a fantastic job with the cast of Mary Poppins. So in the role of Mary Poppins, of course, we have ZIZI STRALLEN, who has played the role before. Let me find her casting area. There you go. That's her. She's one of the Strallen sisters. They're all very talented. I'd seen ZIZI before as Mary Poppins a few years ago on tour, and she is just as good. She's got an amazing voice. She is a phenomenal dancer, and she's a great actress as well. Like, she really is a triple threat. The one thing I will say about her is that she doesn't really have the warmth that somebody like Julie Andrews has. So that's the only thing that I felt was lacking a little bit in her performance, and I don't really think that's her fault. I'm not sure that's something that she can necessarily do anything about. It's just she doesn't come across as warm and loving as Julie Andrews does, obviously, in the role of Mary Poppins. And I think it's a difficult role to play anyway, because Mary Poppins isn't meant to be loving. For the most part, she's meant to be the strict character who is very funny and kind of has very particular ways of going about things. It's just in some scenes she does have to also show the warmth, especially towards the children. And I think that's the only part that was lacking a little bit, as I said. But because most of the show is Mary Poppins just being herself and being her funny particular way, it worked for the most part anyway, and ZIZI STRALLEN does a phenomenal job of portraying that side of Mary Poppins for sure. She's very funny, her voice is beautiful, and yeah, she's an incredible dancer as well. So yeah, she really does work well for the role of Mary Poppins overall. Then we've got Charlie Stemp in the role of Bert. I saw Charlie Stemp about 4 or 5 years ago when he was in Half a Sixpence, and I actually have a vlog of that as well, so if you want to check out the vlog of me seeing Half a Sixpence, I'll try and leave the link down below, otherwise search for it on my channel. But he is a star. Like, he is a fantastic performer. He was great in Half a Sixpence. He really is a triple threat as well. I mean, both ZIZI STRALLEN and Charlie Stemp are great at everything. They're phenomenal performers, great singers, great dancers, great actors, and I was really excited to see Charlie as Bert, because I just, even before seeing him, I thought it was really great casting, because I could have really imagined him in the role, and he did a great job. He's got a great voice, he's a fantastic dancer, and his characterization of Bert as well was spot on. So really enjoyed him, and I just enjoyed the scenes with him and ZIZI as well. I think they worked really well together. Then we've got Charlie Anson in the role of George Banks and Amy Griffiths as Winifred Banks, so Mr. and Mrs. Banks. That's these two over here. They were both really good as well. In fact, Amy Griffiths as Mrs. Banks nearly brought me to tears at one point. Like, I really enjoyed how she portrayed her, and so did Charlie Anson actually. I don't think I've ever seen these two played so well in Mary Poppins. Like I said, I've only seen Mary Poppins on stage once before, and I just don't remember that one being as memorable, but this time around I thought they did a very, very good job. George Banks especially, the dad, he's got some very sensitive scenes that I thought he portrayed very well, so yeah, definitely was a fan of that. Then we've got someone called Patula Clark in the role of the Bird Woman, and that's her, and apparently she's quite a well-known performer and has been a well-known performer, quite a famous like singer, performer for a long, long time, not even just in the UK, in Europe, from what I've read. I didn't really know about her at all, to be honest. I'm going to be completely honest, but I did really love her in the role of the Bird Woman. So if you don't know what the Bird Woman is, it's basically in the Feed the Bird scene, she is the woman who wants to feed the birds. She makes money from giving food to people to feed the birds with. And I loved the scene in particular, the Feed the Bird scene in the musical. I thought it was done so, so well. It nearly brought me to tears. Like, it's the one time that I really felt emotional as I watched her, Patula Clark, in the role of the Bird Woman, and obviously ZIZI Strallen as Mary Poppins with the kids. It was just such a moving scene. And I mean, it's a great song anyway, but it was just portrayed very well on stage. There's bits that the Bird Woman sings herself, and I thought she really showed kind of the desperation in her voice, Patula Clark, how much she just wants to do something nice to get by with her life. And it's such a, I mean, I just love that song anyway. Like, it's so interesting how it's such a simple song yet so effective, because it's about helping people, being kind to people, and not necessarily helping the birds. I know the song is called Feed the Birds, but it's not really about feeding the birds, is it? It's more about being nice to people, being nice to the woman, helping the woman who clearly needs some help, instead of making fun of her like the Banks kids do initially, because they're like, oh, she looks disgusting, whatever. Mary Poppins teaches them that you shouldn't judge a book by its cover, and you should try and understand why this woman is doing this, and why not help feed the birds, and also through that help this woman who just wants to do something nice to be able to get by with her life. I just think it's a beautiful scene. Like I said, it really did move me. By the way, if you hear some noises outside, I'm really sorry. I have the windows up because it's just quite warm in London, and yeah, it's noisy as well because London. The rest of the cast was really good as well, but I can't really talk about everyone, so I'm just going to show quickly the pages of everybody else that was in the show. It was a strong ensemble, strong cast. I do really quickly need to talk about the kids as well, which I'll do in a second. Yeah, these are some of the other performers that are in the show. And then we get to the Michaels and the Janes, and I was really surprised to see so many different kids playing Jane and so many different kids playing Michael, because normally with shows that have kids in them, you might have like 3 or 4 kids sharing the role, but I'd never seen like 7 different Janes or like 6 different Michaels. I wonder if it's because of COVID. I don't know, like, I've never seen this many people sharing a role. Does this mean that only one of them gets to play the role once a week? Because I mean, there's 7 Janes here, so I don't really know. Anyway, the night that we saw the show, we had Madison Thu as Jane Banks and Logan Clark as Michael Banks. So this was our Jane over here, and then Michael was played by this young performer here. So yeah, Logan Clark. Both of them were fantastic, really, really good performers. Like, I've seen so many child actors throughout my theatre going life, and it's very rare these days for me to be like surprised by their talents, because I'm now aware that there are incredible children out there who can play and act and sing and dance very, very well. And yet, even though I've now seen it before, I know that this isn't like as exciting anymore. I was still really amazed by Madison and Logan's performances. They were great. I was convinced that they were brother and sister. They were funny. They were just so in character the whole time, and great dancers, great singers, just completely in character throughout the whole show. And they're on stage quite a lot, so, you know, fair play to them. I can't wait to see them in the future if they decide to pursue theatre, because they are very, very great young performers. This program is quite thick, by the way, and it's got supercalifragilistic on the back. So yeah, I would recommend the program. It's a thick one. It's got quite a lot of information on it and some other shows as well. But I'm just going to quickly show you some of the brochure as well. We've got a picture of Bert in the back, because I think I paid about £14 for the program and the brochure altogether. which I think is worth it, but you can obviously choose which one you prefer. The program is always mainly information. The brochure is just photos, more or less, like, so just depends on how you want to remember the performance that you've just seen. Oh, this is cool. I do like this. I can't wait to read this article, actually. I Never Wrote for Children. This is obviously by P.L. Travers. And then we've got some more photos of Mary Poppins over here. Oh yeah, these statues were quite creepy as well. You can see them here. Sharika and I, my friend, laughed a lot when we first saw them start moving. But it is clever. Oh, look at that. It's such a colourful show. Honestly, visually, again, this show is stunning. It's beautiful to watch. Spoonful of Sugar. Big shout out to this guy here, by the way. Can you see him? Like, he stayed in this position for a long time during the song, and there was like a whole scene before this song, before Spoonful of Sugar, that was just so over the top and funny, and like it's the type of scene that kids would definitely love, and it was just done very well. So yeah, love that. Then we've got the Feed the Bird scene here again with the bird woman, and then over here we've got Chim Chimney, another fantastic song. And yeah, I can't show you every single thing. Obviously, that's the kind of main supercalifragilisticexpialidocious scene. Oh my god, Lord have mercy, I do have to show you this. This is what Sharika and I were talking about earlier in the vlog. So you know how I said about like the creepy dolls? There's this one scene in Act 1 that just was a bit much. I think it was Act 1, yeah. But yeah, it's like there's like a hand here, like the dolls basically come to life. And it's Mary Poppins' way of showing or teaching the kids to be nice to their dolls. And I understand the message, but it was just, I did not expect what happened to happen. It was just a little bit too creepy, I'm not gonna lie. Oh my god, yeah. So there you go, that's the hand here. I don't know if I showed it well. That's creepy, isn't it? Like a hand just coming out. That is so creepy. The flyer kite scene was done very well as well. It's just such a beautiful story. I'm not going to go through this anymore. But obviously, if you go see a show and if you want to buy it, feel free to do so. I would recommend buying it. It's a nice souvenir for sure. It's a beautiful show. It really, really is. I didn't expect to enjoy it as much as I did, but the cast all round is fantastic. The show itself is good. There were bits that I didn't like, you know, for instance, that scene with the puppets. I just didn't really understand the choice with that. But honestly, overall, I really did enjoy it, and I want to go back. Like, I don't know if it's because I've not been able to go see shows for about a year and a half or what, but recently most of the shows that I've seen, I've been wanting to go back and see them again, and I think it's just because I've missed being in a theatre, and if I see a show that I really love, I'm like, I want to go and see it again, I want to experience it again. And Mary Poppins for sure is a show that I would love to go back to at some point. So yeah, let me know in the comments below if you've seen it, if you have plans to go and see it. I would 100% recommend it. It's a great show, great cast, great music, just a great fun family friendly show. Thank you so much for watching. Big love to my friend Sharika as well for coming along. It made the experience more fun for me. And yeah, follow me on Instagram, subscribe to my channel for more videos on theatre and Disney as well, and just traveling, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.